Aries. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Aries, today your honesty and straightforwardness stand out in your interactions. You can't hold back your feelings when you see something wrong, so you quickly voice your opinions, whether they are welcomed or not. Although being frank carries some risks, it is also the reason many admire you as a genuine and sincere person. At work, you act swiftly and dislike delays, but be careful not to make hasty decisions. In the family, you like to lead and often take the initiative in planning for everyone's welfare. And always remember, the workings of nature are not to be underestimated, for things may happen suddenly. Always stay cautious. Taurus. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Taurus, today your strength and unshakable stance in the face of change are dominant. You are naturally calm, but once you stand for something, you don't easily back down. Because of this, others might see you as stubborn, but for you, principles are essential. When it comes to finances, you prefer having a clear plan before spending and dislike being forced into something you don't want. In relationships, you are loyal and generous, but you also need to feel valued. And always remember, the workings of nature are not to be underestimated, for things may happen suddenly. Always stay cautious. Gemini. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Gemini, today your communication skills and ability to connect with others are at the forefront. You're lively in conversation and naturally gifted at easing others' worries. However, because of the many things you think and say, there's a chance you won't finish what you start. So, it's important to focus on one thing before moving on to the next. At work, you're creative and quick thinking, contributing greatly to brainstorming and idea generation. In relationships, you want someone who listens well and keeps up with your stories. And always remember, the workings of nature are not to be underestimated, for things may happen suddenly. Always stay cautious. Cancer. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Cancer, today emphasizes your sensitivity and emotional closeness to your loved ones. You are naturally nurturing and compassionate, so family and friends often turn to you in times of need. However, you are also easily hurt when you don't feel the same level of care in return. At work, you function better when your emotional state is stable. In terms of finances, you are careful and always consider the family's well-being before making decisions. In love, you are a loyal partner who values feelings more than appearances. And always remember, the workings of nature are not to be underestimated, for things may happen suddenly. Always stay cautious. Leo. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Leo, today your leadership and ability to attract attention become clearer. You don't do this just for praise. You want to inspire and prove that success is possible with discipline and self-confidence. However, you must also learn to listen to others and not make decisions based only on your desires. At work, you like to take the lead and often initiate actions. On a personal level, you're affectionate and dependable in times of need. But be mindful not to be overly confident, so as not to come across as arrogant. And always remember, the workings of nature are not to be underestimated, for things may happen suddenly. Always stay cautious. Virgo. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Virgo, today you become more analytical and detail-oriented in your tasks. You won't be satisfied until everything is in order, from the smallest detail to the bigger picture. Because of this, you might feel tired or stressed if you don't keep your perfectionist tendencies in check. At work, you are the type people rely on for reviewing documents or projects that require careful scrutiny. In the family, you are attentive to everyone's health and well-being. Emotionally, you may not be expressive with words, but you show your feelings through actions. And always remember, the workings of nature are not to be underestimated, for things may happen suddenly. Always stay cautious. Libra. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, today you are more sensitive to the emotions of others. You have a natural concern for the well-being of those close to you, often putting their needs ahead of your own. You dislike shouting and conflict, so you're often the peacemaker in times of misunderstanding. When tension arises, you're the one who tries to unite both sides. You know how to forgive, but you also don't tolerate repeated mistakes. In matters of the heart, your feelings are quiet yet sincere. You are understanding of your partner's flaws and don't easily give up on a relationship founded on trust. Remember, the workings of nature are unpredictable. Be cautious, as surprises come suddenly. Scorpio. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, your innate loyalty and vigilance are strong today. You don't easily show your emotions, but deep inside, your feelings run deep. Your actions always have a purpose, and you rarely act carelessly. You're the type of person who will fight for a loved one until the very end. However, once hurt, it's hard for you to trust again. In work, you're determined to meet your goals and take responsibilities seriously. You dislike people who are insincere and lack genuine concern. In finances, you manage your resources carefully and aren't easily tempted by meaningless spending. Remember, the workings of nature are unpredictable. Be cautious, as surprises come suddenly. Sagittarius. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, your dreamy and courageous spirit shines today. You carry the boldness to face any challenge in pursuit of your goals. You're unafraid to begin a new chapter in life even if it comes with uncertainty. Your mind is open to new ideas, and you don't settle for just one direction. Personally, you dislike know-it-alls or those who try to control you. You prefer a life of freedom. However, even in freedom, you know how to look back on your roots and cherish true friends. Remember, the workings of nature are unpredictable. Be cautious, as surprises come suddenly. Capricorn. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, your day-to-day is filled with discipline and long-term planning. You dislike rushing into things and prefer to move with certainty. You're careful with details and avoid risks where you don't yet know the full picture. In the family, you are the planner for the future and find ways to ensure financial stability. In relationships, you may not be talkative, but you are faithful. You also won't let emotions cloud your decisions when you know practical matters need to be prioritized. Remember, the workings of nature are unpredictable. Be cautious, as surprises come suddenly. Aquarius. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, today your openness to new and unconventional ideas is strong. You are a creative and innovative thinker unafraid of the unusual. You protect your intellectual freedom and dislike being limited by outdated beliefs. In social interactions, you prefer conversations with people who have depth, not those who talk meaninglessly. You know how to listen, but you don't let yourself be easily swayed. In the family, you bring fresh ideas that improve harmony. You're not easily drawn into drama, choosing logic over emotion. Remember, the workings of nature are unpredictable. Be cautious, as surprises come suddenly. Pisces. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, your kindness and thoughtfulness dominate today. You're the kind of person who easily senses others' emotions, so you're often the one relied upon in times of need. However, today you need to learn to set boundaries. Not every problem must be yours to solve. In love, you are genuine and incapable of deceit. But when hurt, it takes you a long time to trust again. In financial matters, you exercise caution, knowing that impulsiveness is not an option. You'd rather save than spend on fleeting pleasures. Remember, the workings of nature are unpredictable. Be cautious, as surprises come suddenly.